Yo, welcome to another Warframe guide for Khora, the Whip and Claw frame, the cat frame. She's amazing for Steel Path and Endgame. She's an amazing loot frame if you're farming a specific item. And overall, I think she's probably one of the best frames in the game, and I'm excited for her Prime coming out later this year. So let's get right into the build and her abilities as well. So let's go into our modding screen here and go over the abilities. So her Whip Claw is her main source of damage. It scales with your melee weapon, so that's why it's important to have a good stat stick melee. I'll be going over that later in a couple minutes. So yeah, it's all her damage. You tap it and you whip. It's a pretty simple concept. It scales off your combo counter and your melee mods, so it is very powerful. Her 3 is her ensnare. It's one of the best grouping tools in the game and CC tools. It can group a bunch of enemies at once, and it can stun the acolyte and steal path for free kills. So that is very good. Venari, her 3rd ability, her cat, just for its special modes, its attack, its defense, and its heal. Its heal is good for some niche defense game modes where you have to heal your target and whatever. Normally this is the ability you're subsuming off on Khora for something like Dispensary for energy or Spectrage for energy. So it's not the greatest thing in the world. You still get Venari even if you take this ability off. This ability is purely for reviving Venari and using Venari's abilities. So it's okay. It's cool to have an extra cat. You won't lose the cat when you subsume it off. You just lose its little tiny bonuses. So nothing too crazy when you get rid of it, but just an extra cat with some healing. Pretty nice. Her Strangle Dome is another amazing ability. Even more CC on top of her ensnare. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a giant dome that will strangle the enemies. And when you whip claw it, it spreads the damage all throughout to every enemy strangled in the dome. So there's a lot of synergy in her kit, and it feels really good. So I have 2 builds to show. I have one build for like the star chart and like spamming if you're doing relics. You know, you want to speed run your capture missions while you're cracking relics. You want to speed run your exterminate missions while cracking relics. This is the build I go for. No duration, because you're not going to be sitting in one spot with your Triangle Dome, and you're not going to be casting Ensnare as much, and you get as much range and as much strength as possible on your Whip Claw. So you're just running around and nuking the rooms with your Whip Claw. I have Energize on here. I'd recommend running Xenuric as well. Khora is a pretty energy hungry frame because of how much you're casting. So if you have Xenuric, I'd use it. If you have Energize, I'd use it. If you know the whole deal between the Synth mod set and Equilibrium, I'd use it if you don't have Energize. I also have 175% efficiency here, but yeah, this is the build I use if I'm cracking relics, doing, you know, Kuva ones as well, just running through an exterminate, spamming my Whip Claw, running through a capture, spamming my Whip Claw, that type of thing. And her passive as well also gives you movement speed based on your strength, so this is really nice for just speed running, you know, relics, your daily missions, whatever you're going about, going through the motions doing that day. So this is what I recommend for that. This build is what I use for Steel Path. And you can see I have 3 augments here. So she's not a very build like aggressive frame, I guess would be the wording I use. You know, she's not gonna be like super draining, like, oh, you need this niche mod. The hardest thing to get in this build is probably the overextended and primed continuity. And obviously I have Arcanes on, but the Arcanes here are just because I have them, you know. With Spectra Siphon, you don't really need Energize, but it does help. And you're probably wondering, oh, Venari's gone. There's Spectra Siphon. If you don't know, Spectra Siphon, it gives you energy when enemies inside of it die, and it gives you a lot of energy. If you've seen my Vobin video, it's insane. Okay, so go check that out if you want to see it again. And I think the Vobin build is actually even crazier than this build with how much energy you get, just because how it pulls all the enemies into the Spectra Siphon range, and it guarantees the energy procs, so that's really nice. But Spectra Siphon for energy in that you can also run dispensary here, and it frees up a mod spot if you want to run equilibrium and a synth fiber set for energy gain. That's cool. Accumulating whip claw for damage. Probably thinking 40% strength. Where's our damage coming from? Accumulating whip claw and our melee stat stick. So that's that. Pilfering Strangledome, because there's a good chance that if you're going to be running Khora, you're doing a survival and you're doing it for loot. So Pilfering Strangledome. Continuity, so our abilities last long. Extended for range. Stretch for range. Flow for energy. And vitality just for some survivability. Pretty simple build. 3 augments and 3 really simple mods. And now that I see, like, why do you have flow in there, not primed flow? I did not have primed flow when I made this build a while ago, so even better. Yeah, but this is the build. If you just came here for core builds, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Tell me what Warframe do next, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Now I'm going to show off the melee stat stick and then go do Steel Path run. So if you want to stay and watch that, thanks. If you just came here for the build mods, cool. Leave, like, dislike, whatever. Alright. On to the rest of the loadout. So we have Naramon Focus School here because she does scale her whip claw damage with your combo counter. So you want your combo counter to last as long as possible. So that's why Naramon is on here. Going up to my Zal, this is the most important weapon in your loadout. The other two do not matter. I can tell you that with 100% certainty. Khora is killing everything with her whip claw. That is all that matters. Your whip claw and your melee. So I'll get right into this. I have a corrosive build. I'm just building for raw damage, and I have my Riven. So that's what's going on here. Pressure point, Blood Rush for crit, Spoiled Strike more damage, critical chance, Toxin raw damage, critical damage, you know. And it's built for corrosive because the Acolyte is weak to corrosive. So that's what's going on here. And I have this great crit chance Riven. If it was crit chance, crit damage, Toxin, it'd be even better. But for now, this is what I have. So yeah, this will work. You don't have to use this specific Zal and this specific Riven. This build works as long as you're buffing it with a good melee that has a good Riven or a good augment mod. So like things like the Jaw Sword and its mod from Arbiters of Hexus in place of the Riven would work here. Things like the Mire and its Toxin augment mod would work here. Anything like that. As long as you have a good melee with a good Riven to use as your stat stick, you'll be fine. So yeah, that's the build here. If you're putting this on whatever melee you have and you don't know what to put here, I would either put more crit chance or the 60/60 Toxin mod, anything like that. But yeah, this is the build I run for my stat stick. And Exodia Contagion is here just because it's still on here from another build I had on here. So it's whatever. But yeah, this is the melee build. And your weapons, like I said, they do not matter. You can run whatever here. I have these two on because these are two weapons that I like a lot. So that is that. Our cat, we have the Panzer Vulpaphyla because they never die. They just revive themselves and keep going. If you are using Khora to specifically farm something, I would recommend using a Smita Kavat instead. But if you're just using Khora in general gameplay, I'd use the Panzer. So I believe that is the build and the loadout. So let's go into Steel Path. Let's go straight to the void. Ani survival. There's no nullifiers on this node, if you didn't know. So it makes it a lot more enjoyable. Yeah, Khora is, I wouldn't say she's necessarily fun to play, but I would say that she's extremely good and it can make the game more enjoyable than you would be playing any other frame. I like this tile set for camping. see what I got here. Normally, when I get this tile set, I'll sit right here, and the Acolyte will always spawn right there when I'm sitting here. So, but first, I do need to build combo. So wait for all these lads to get up here, do that, kill them so I can get some energy. $200 energy like that. Already got an Argon Crystal, and my Strangle Dome's not even up for loot. Okay, we have more than enough energy, so this goes here. This goes here. And now we just whip claw away. Obviously, it takes a while for your damage to ramp up because it scales with your combo counter. But yeah, this is Khora. I could do this for hours on end, and the damage just keeps scaling. We see our cooldowns are about to run out, so we gotta cast this again. You get a kick gun out here. Sometimes you will get heavy units, and they will be a little tanky, and they won't be dying from the whip claw damage alone. They'll die in a couple hits, or if you have a really powerful gun, you just bop them a couple times and call it a day. Cooldown's about to run out. Pop the Strangle Dome again. And my Spectro Siphon, and you just keep trucking. Well, yeah, so Khora, really simple here. This is all you're doing. It's great for getting loot. As you can see, I've already gotten 2-3 Argon Crystals because of her Pilfering Strangle Dome. She does insane damage here. My melee's only at 5 times combo counter. Oh, Strangle Dome's down. Let me pop that again. Yeah, absolutely nutty frame. You know, if you're playing on a computer, you got your double monitor set up, you could have a movie on your other one, play some Warframe and farm. It's a good time. But yeah, this is Khora in all her glory, and I can't wait for her prime to come out. And see whatever fashion I can come up with her deluxe skin and prime. Let's place that again. Yes, but absolute. This is like the definition of easy mode, and this is on Steel Path as well. So Khora is definitely worth it. I know a lot of people are put off by grinding her from Sanctuary Onslaught, but she is definitely worth the grind. Cast my Strangle Dome right there. Nope, that's about to run out. No life support issues either. You can't tell. Khora really does do it all. And you can do this in any Steel Path mission as long as you're building your combo counter. You know, you want to run through and whip claw only. I actually used her to do my Steel Path open world missions. I found her really good there. Especially on Daimos, since it's mostly, you know, the melee units, and the Strangle Dome just poops them out of the air. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait for the Acolyte to spawn here and nuke him. Killing the Acolyte as Khora compared to other frames is like night and day, because you just end snare and you turn them off. They're no longer playing the game. So if we got an Acolyte to spawn in the next minute here, it'd be very nice to show. Oh, we're starting to hit red crits. Yep, there they are. Nope, let's cast Spectrage. Let's see, do we get any more Argon? Let's adventure out a little. Yep, there we go. It's like our 4th Argon crystal. Nice. Let's see, what's our combo out? 11. Okay, so we're basically max combo counter here. Oh, here comes the Acolyte. So when the Acolyte comes, and if you're standing here like I am, you kind of want to stand right here towards the back wall. And the Acolyte should spawn right in front of us, or right next to us normally. Yep, okay, spawn next to us. And Snare, now he's disabled, and he dies in 3 hits. Yeah, that's Khora. Thanks for watching. If you stayed till the end. Did you love it? Did you hate it? You know, can I do something better next time? When I show off another build? What frame do you want to see next? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and oh, gotta pop this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.